Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Skip Happens. My name is Skip Clark, obviously the host, and wow, we got another good one for you tonight. I'm already digging this. We've got a man who single-handedly brought the steel guitar back from the Witness Protection Program. Spencer Hatcher is with us. If you like your country music twangy, your songs honest, and your live shows sounding exactly like the record, well, you know what? Congratulations, because you found your people. Let's crack a cold one. Let's crack it wide open and get right into it. Spencer, it's so good to see you. It's a pleasure to meet you, my friend. How are you?
Skip, well, I'm doing great. It's an honor to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, tell everybody, where are you right now?
Well, I'm currently in Nashville, or in
Okay.
my house just right outside Nashville.
You have a house, or are you? You
I
do.
do.
You do. What part?
Yes, thankfully. It's kind of funny because we were looking at all the options, and we said, as a country band that practices as much as I make my guys practice, and we've got a
Mhm,
drum set, of course, an
mhm.
apartment, we'd have been
No,
evicted
that
after the
wouldn't work.
first day.
Mm-mm.
There's no way we could do it, so we had to go with the house.
Yeah, your ass would have been kicked out of there pretty damn quick.
Oh,
That's
oh, it would have been, yeah.
it's like crazy. But what part of are you like in Franklin or whereabouts are you? You don't have to tell
I'm
me
just
exactly.
east. I'm just east of Nashville, just right
Okay.
outside east of Nashville. So it's not too bad. It's probably a 30-minute drive or so into
Okay. On a good
town. It's
day. On a good day.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 30 minutes going in, and then it's an hour and a half coming out. That's how it always is.
It's funny. I was just on just before we went on. I was on the phone with a friend of mine in Nashville, and he said he was on the highway. Is there a 440? I don't know. Is that
Well, it was probably 40. There might
40?
be 40.
And he said, dude, I got to do a maneuver. Hold on. Traffic's terrible. I got to get
Yeah.
around this guy. It's unbelievable.
Oh
It's
my
just,
gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Just today, actually, I was west of Nashville, and I had to go all the way east of Nashville, and this is passing through the city, and I knew it was gonna be horrible. What
Yeah.
should have been roughly a 35-minute drive wound up being an hour and 20,
Damn.
and that is what, honestly, that's the biggest adjustment for me, coming from the country, and
I
I
was just going
mean,
to ask. Yeah. Okay.
a lot of the traffic we would have back home would be getting stuck behind a tractor or something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
get you.
Here it's like, dude, people just forget to drive is what it
How,
seems like in the
how
city.
long have you, how long have you been there?
I moved here in Nashville in June,
Oh, okay.
but
So
I
not too
had
long.
been coming down about every other week
I got you.
for a year before that. Since June of 24, I've been flying down about every other week, and then I moved down officially June of 25.
Gotcha. So you're a newbie. You're a newbie. But
Newbie.
you know what? I go to Nashville a few times every year, and it's like depending on what time I get into town. It used to be like a 20-minute drive from the airport to downtown. Now, like you say, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. Maybe that's a little bit much, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yep, and I think too, it's just a rise in population.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
Nashville roads were made, they weren't accounting for like 600,000 some people or something like that, and now
crazy.
we're there,
You're
and
there. You're there.
it's rough.
Every time I go, I see a new building. I see like it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at that. What happened to now it's something different? It's like, wow, and it's growing like crazy. But a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
great people like yourself have made that move to Nashville. What is your hometown though? Your actual hometown whereabouts?
Hometown is Broadway, Virginia. It's a very small town
Yeah.
just north of Harrisonburg, Virginia, which a lot more people know for JMU and
Hmm.
everything, but,
Hmm.
it's just
Hmm.
right there in the Shenandoah Valley. I grew up on a farm, and I lived there for, well, most of my life, aside
Cool.
from the 4 years I was in college, and then, now I'm down here in Nashville. So
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee. So this is actually my 2nd time living in Tennessee, just a
I
different part.
gotcha. I got you. And were you doing music in school?
Yes, sir. Well, I went and I was studying, business
Okay.
administration, um, and I graduated with a degree in that, but that's also the only school in the world that offers a degree in bluegrass and country music. So, as a result, I was like, "Well, I just as well have fun with my minor," and so I minored
Yeah.
in the music and I studied it, and I was in bands during college, 4 different ones, and, oh, I had a ball. Loved it.
You know, Virginia is beautiful, though. I have a daughter that lives in Virginia, just outside Norfolk, but it's beautiful. And I can remember one year we were driving down. I drove overnight, and the sun was coming up over the mountains, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. You know, you could
It
say,
is.
"Wow,
You,
beautiful."
you know, and I never really knew growing up right there in the Shenandoah Valley. I never knew that it was literally, I don't think it's too much of an opinion, one of the most beautiful places
Yeah,
in America. But
absolutely.
every single morning, I'd sit on my front porch and you would watch the sunrise, you'd watch sunset and not
Mhm,
even realize it. But that's one thing I've noticed since I've come down to Nashville. Tennessee, beautiful. But in Nashville, Middle Tennessee and
mhm,
West Tennessee, you don't have mountains anymore.
mm-mm.
You got hills, but there's no mountains. As soon as you get to East Tennessee and you're back up in Virginia where my home is, um, you've got mountains again, and that's just one thing I really miss being
That's
here in
beautiful.
Nashville.
That's totally beautiful. You said you grew up on a farm. Was it a dairy farm, or were you raising crop, or what? What was it?
No, no, it was for Black Angus cattle. It was more of a cattle farm.
So it's beef.
It was. Yes, sir, and
Beef.
we go to the stock sale and we would buy them, sell them, raise them, and then, of course, we would grow hay,
Mhm.
in the summer, and we
Gotta
would
feed
cut
them.
hay and feed them all winter. Yep,
Yeah,
that was the
and
farm
beef
we
them
had.
up.
That's
Beef them
right.
up. Do you, you know, I know we need to talk about the music, but like I told you before, sometimes I zigzag here a little bit. When we use it's a beef cattle farm, do you ever grow attached to the cattle because you have a job to do? You raise the cattle, you got to supply beef, but then it's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I never did. I grew up, working the cattle and being outside working a farm
Yeah,
at a very early age. I mean, like
I
6
got you.
years old, I
Ah,
wanted to be like my
okay.
dad, so I never
Yeah.
did become attached to the cattle, but, uh, my mom would, of course, and my older brother, back, when we first got the place, which would have been back in, like, '97,
Uh-huh.
my older brother my dad bought all the cattle, and, they had this one little calf that they started raising, and they
Oh,
named it, and they bottle fed it and made it like a pet, and time came to sell it, and it was like this horrible thing, so we kinda had a rule from then on, don't befriend the cattle.
yeah, yeah. No, I
It's a
get
little
it.
easier come
I
time to
get it.
sell.
Totally, totally. So, quickly, if I were to drive into your hometown of Broadway, Virginia, if I was to, what would be the first thing I would see if I go in on the main drag? What's going to be the first thing I'm going to see? 'Cause it's a very small town.
It is a very small town, I think you would see somewhat of what would seem like a typical small historic town. The buildings are old, they're brick. You've got small brick and mortar businesses, businesses that still count on people walking in them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You've got
hmm.
only a couple of restaurants and
Do you
a
have
lot
like a
of great
Chick Fil A?
people.
You have a Chick Fil A?
No, no Chick-fil-A. No fast food in Broadway
Really? Probably
aside
better that
from
way.
aside from Subway.
Well,
I want
you
to
got to
say that
get your
I'm
sub.
I wanna say that's right. Subway has, like, forever been the biggest sponsor of the sports teams and everything in my hometown, but we got, like, a pizza joint, we've got a country diner,
Yeah.
and and a Domino's, so maybe
Well,
Domino's
that's
is.
important. Well, so
Yeah.
you got a couple of pizza joints, which is
Yeah,
good.
we got some
Yeah.
places to get some food.
I love that. You know, you're being talked about as one of the artists proudly flying the flag for real traditional country. Does that label feel natural to you, or is it something you've had to defend?
No, I've not. I mean, to me, it comes 100% natural.
Hmm.
That's just,
Okay.
that's absolutely who I am. The stuff that I sing about, and especially the stuff that I write is stuff that I live and can
Hmm.
relate to and is true to me. There's nothing that I'm doing where I'm like, well, I don't know anything about this, but I'm gonna sing about it or
I
I'm gonna
love
write
that.
it.
I love
So
that.
no, traditional country, that's what I grew up on. I didn't even know what new country was up until 2020 when I started performing. Everything I listened to uh, up to that point was from like 1995 and back. I kid you not. I had to force myself to
Hmm.
listen to new
Hmm.
artists now. I love new country now. There's lots of great talent in country music. But as far as what's true to me, when I hear Keith Whitley or George Jones,
Mm,
Merle Haggard, Hank Jr.,
mm,
those guys,
mm.
that is
Absolutely.
what country music is
Yeah.
to me. It's true, it's real, it's relatable, and that's what, that's what my music, I hope, is what that reflects as well.
It's great timing for you. The way I see it, doing what I do is, I hear Ellen Jackson and songs like Chattahoochee and going back to, the early 90s. And now, that kind of went away a little bit. Now it's all coming back, and you fall right into that niche. You fall right into that genre of, doing the right thing at the right time. And do you feel the momentum that like something is happening?
I do now. It's just now starting.
Yeah.
And I've been at this for a long time. I've been at country for, I guess, 6 years now. But I was in bluegrass and performing and
Hmm.
everything
Hmm.
for 10 years before that. But it's just now starting that with the streaming and with radio stuff that we're doing and interviews coming out and really big country pages picking up articles on me and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
for the first time I'm starting to be like, man, this is so great. I start to feel like, and it's not about like, oh, it's happening for me. It's like I'm just so grateful that people were finally getting to hear my music for the first
Exactly.
time. It's really starting to expand, and people are talking about, you should listen to Spencer Hatcher. He's a new artist that's coming up, and
Mhm.
it really makes me feel good to know that people really like my music too, because that's the only reason that I do this. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
just for the love of it.
Is this all you do? Is this your full-time job?
Yes, sir.
Because I
It
know
has
that.
been for 6 years. When
God
I came
bless you.
home from college
God
in
bless you.
2020, I said, I've got this business degree. I could go do anything that I wanted really right now. I had a job lined up as a financial advisor with a big
Mhm.
firm, and I was like, well, I am going to hit country music as hard as I possibly can because that's my dream. And the only way that
Mm.
I can possibly fail is if I quit. And I'm not going to have a plan B because if you have a plan B, then it's kind of like a safety net that you start to lean on. And I didn't want to lean on that. So
I get it.
I've gone as hard as I possibly can for 6 years. And
And you're doing
um,
well at it. You're
well,
doing
I'm
well at it.
I'm proud of how far we've come. I can say that.
Maybe if you went on to be the financial advisor, you might be making a little more money. But
Maybe,
but you know what? That's not
maybe
where your heart is. Your
no.
heart is doing what you're doing. And that will come. It will come in time. And pretty soon, I'll be going, hey, I had him on my Skip Happens podcast. And now look at him. He's on the big
Mhm.
stage. So that's pretty
Well,
cool.
I hope you're right, but it takes you, Skip,
Mhm.
saying, Spencer, I'd
Well,
like to have you on my show. I like what
exactly.
you're doing, and
Well,
it just means the world to me.
well, it's a two-way street, just so you know that, because I can't do this without people like you. So there you go. It's a two-way street. When you hear people describe your sound as twang, heavy, no frills, honky tonk, does that make you smile? You're smiling right now.
Yeah, it
So
does.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
if people, I would say if they described it any other way, I wouldn't really know what they're talking about probably because, um, and I wouldn't say that I'm really targeting anything, but to me, my music does reflect that
Mm,
classic
mm,
country, traditional country,
love it.
honky tonk, um, barroom dancing kind of stuff. I know that they wouldn't find any synthesizers or bass loops or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about them saying, "Hey, he's pop," or "He's rapping," or something like that, but no, yeah, that does. That makes me feel good. I'm glad that people are saying this guy's real country.
I want to talk about Honky Tonk Hideaway. That's your debut EP. It's out there. It's great. Um, it really feels like a place, not just a title. What kind of world were you trying to build with this EP? I hear Honky Tonk Hideaway. That's a place. That's where I need to be.
Yeah.
What kind of world were you, trying to build with that?
Well, it's interesting because there is such a place here called Honky Tonk Hideaway. I come
Mhm.
to find out, but the whole point of the song is I think everybody probably has their own honky tonk hideaway, or at least,
Mm,
the people that go out and do the bar thing, those that know what their honky tonk hideaway is,
mhm,
I
mhm.
think that's kind of what we're trying to build, and just a fun, happy song, kind of like Boot Scoot and Boogie from Brooks and
Yeah.
Dunn back in the day. We've not had a song like that for a long time, and so we were so excited to have Honky Tonk Hideaway and be like, this can be a dancing song, it could be a show opener,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's one that a lot of people can relate to, or if they're at their Honky Tonk Hideaway, they'd be like, "Man, I like to drink a beer to this song."
I know. Cold beer and common sense. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Just a feel good song.
I think I have a little bit of that right here. This is it, right?
Yes, it is.
It's cold beer and common sense. Yeah,
That's right.
I'll just let it play for a minute. I'll get yelled at by Facebook or YouTube, but here we go.
I sat down at the VFW next to some guy I didn't know. Our talking turned to laughing, cause where we're from is nowhere close. Next thing you know, we landed on let's agree to disagree, and then we raised our glass to cheers. He said the cold beer and common sense.
Love
We need
it.
more people loving
I can't play a lot of it because they will go, all right, you just broke the rules. But no, you'll probably get an email going, we had to put a restriction on this. Do you approve it? So you're the artist. It's up to you. So
Okay, I'll approve it.
saying. I know. Was there a moment during recording Honky Tonk Hideaway where you thought, yeah, this is who I am as an artist? Was there a moment you're doing it, you're in the studio, you're recording it, and you're going, man, this is who I am?
Well, I don't know if there was one particular moment, but the entire process of having the song, being in the studio, making the music what it became,
Mhm.
singing it so that it sounds like we know it today, across the whole process, I would say you're sitting there thinking, man, I'm excited about this song. This is a song that I'm really thankful to have, or this is totally a song for me. And a lot of what I do too, because I play so many live shows, is I always like to visualize how it will perform live. And
Ah,
it's been amazing. It's been great. People love it live. It's a fun song. And yeah, I mean, I'd say that whole process of having a song that you're recording, you're like, this is a song for me and I'm proud of it. You got to be proud of the songs that you do,
absolutely.
I think. It's probably
Absolutely.
important.
I don't know why you wouldn't be. This
Right.
is you. This is what you do. These are your songs. And how much of this EP comes from lived experience versus storytelling and observation? Is it the real deal?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say I can relate to everything in the music. Now, interestingly enough, this EP, I wasn't a writer on any of the 6 songs because it was as soon as I got into town, they were like, "All right, we need to get you writing. We want you in these rooms with these writers, and we've got some Spencer Hatcher songs coming too. But these initial songs, I was so quick into town, and we're so needing songs that." And the other really cool thing was the pitches. A lot of the pitches that we had from other big hit songwriters
Mhm.
came from guys that were writing these songs back in those days, back in the
Wow.
90s or in the 80s. And they're like, well, Nashville's got a big stack of these old songs laying around that have not been cut for 30 years.
Give them
So,
to me.
yeah, so here they are. And so a lot of these songs that we picked. Now, I don't, again, like I said earlier, I don't pick a song that I can't relate to.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. There's something
now,
about it that you would go, yeah, that's me.
yeah,
So I
sure.
want to sing
So
about it.
all the contents of every song, yeah, I can relate to it, and it is me. It's a good representation of who Spencer Hatcher is.
So you're cruising down the road. I don't know what you drive. What do you do? Do you drive a pickup? I'm
I
taking a
do.
guess. You do.
I do,
Let
and
me guess. Let me
it's a
guess.
Ram.
It's a Silverado. What'd you say?
No, it's a Ram.
It's a Ram.
I'm a Dodge guy.
I've been a Dodge guy. I've been a Ford guy. I did the Chevy Silverado. I'm in a Colorado now, but
All right.
same idea. Same
Yeah,
idea. I get it. No, that's cool. That's cool. I had a Ram. I loved my Ram, and
I love mine.
that engine purred. It was like, oh, it's so cool. I could if I punched it, it's like, I love this.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Rams are powerful, and I've just my family. We've just had Ram trucks for a long time. I mean, you go back and you look at my videos online, and
Yeah.
it's almost like I'm promoting Ram, and they've never sponsored me or anything, but we're a big sponsor of them, I'd say. You know, we buy a lot of their trucks.
Hey, you never know what could happen. You know, God rest his soul, Toby Keith, big Ford guy. And years ago, I had a chance to go to Norman, Oklahoma, to go to an event that Toby was holding. And we actually went to his house.
No
And
way.
in his driveway, there had to be 6 Ford F-150s. And I'm going, oh my God. Now,
That
Ford,
is awesome.
yeah, it was crazy. He held it was a thing for radio programmers way back in the day. And it was one of those experiences where I will never forget. We got to go play golf. Not that I know how to play golf, but I gave it a shot. I drove the golf cart more than I was swinging a club, and getting some elbow exercise, if you know what I mean. But, you know, but that was fun. And, you know, hey, you never know. Ram, Dodge could come to you and go, hey, Spence, you know, we're going to give you a truck to drive, but you got to talk about it.
I would accept that. I would love to do that. I'd do a
maybe somebody's getting lunches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that would be great.
So you're driving down the road in your Ram, and all of a sudden on the radio, you hear this song, When She Calls Me Cowboy. It's your first radio single. I'll just play a little bit of this as well. I want to talk about this. Yeah. Love the steel. Love it. Here we go.
When she calls me baby and we're all alone, well, that's a good sign. What's on her mind is getting close.
Does this mean something?
And when she calls me darling, all wrapped up in my arms, we're dancing in the kitchen candlelight. I can feel her coming on, one kiss, one song at a time. But when she calls me cowboy, lets her hair fall down, boy, gets that look in her eyes.
All right. Smash. Pick it or skip it. We're picking it.
All right.
You know, I do a feature called Pick It or Skip It on the air every once in a while, and I'm going to have to do that with that song because I already know it's going to be a pick. It won't be skipped. So you got to love it. So you heard that. You're in your Ram. You're cruising down the road. You hear it on the radio for the first time. What was that reaction like for you? How did you feel?
I mean, I feel like it's just like a surreal moment. Did
you cry? I would have.
I'm not, I'm really not much of a crier, but if I were, I surely would have,
Yeah, no,
it's like one of those moments where I can't, I can really feel it. Like it's tugging at my heart a little bit. It's like, this is something that has been a dream that so few people ever get to witness for themselves. And to hear yourself on the radio, it's really, it's almost indescribable.
So
it's just an amazing thing.
You as an artist and somebody that's just getting out there and you want your music heard, you go on what they call a radio tour. I've seen, I guess this is kind of a new way of doing it, the way we're doing it here tonight, but except you're not up at 5 a.m. to be on the morning show. But this is what an artist does. They go out and they shake hands with the radio program directors. They check out the stations. They meet everybody. They play in the conference room for a few minutes, maybe have some pizza and some soda and some water. And then they say goodbye and you go to another station. That radio tour has a reputation for being brutal. And what surprised you most about that experience of being on the radio tour?
What surprised me most? I would say probably, I don't know. I don't know that I had a tremendous amount of surprises because I kind of knew what I was walking into.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my first one that I've been doing. I'm going out on radio next month. Next month and maybe the end of this month. I've still got a lot of
ground to cover.
A lot of road time left, a lot of flight time. I would say maybe, I don't know, maybe the amount of traveling, but I kind of knew how crazy it would get. But I also have nothing poor to say. Like people say it's grueling and it's like just you can't function. And for me, it is such an honor to be on a radio
Mhm,
tour
mhm, mhm,
and to
mhm.
have a label backing you to where you can do a radio tour that
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
having a ball. It's
Good.
like I'm traveling, I'm seeing new states, I'm meeting all these amazing people. Radio people are so amazing. And maybe that would be what surprised me most is the people that hold the key
Mhm.
to what is going to be played. What is country music in America today? Maybe you could say they have room to be egotistical or something like that, but everybody I've met is just amazing. Like,
Mhm.
I love the people that I've gotten to go in the rooms with. I perform
Yeah.
for them. They're so kind. They really seem to like my music.
Love it.
So, they,
I
they
love
really
it.
make me feel like I'm a real artist, and that really means the world to me. So I've been having a ball on the radio
Absolutely.
tour.
Absolutely. Whereabouts are you heading? Do you know? Do
Uh,
you
yeah, I'm gonna be in, oh, I wanna say it's Wisconsin, but I
all
know
right.
I'm gonna be in Florida for a week.
Oh, lucky you. Well,
Right.
I say lucky you because I'm in Syracuse. This is where,
Okay.
this is where I am. So you walk outside and, we got 2.5 feet of snow in one day. So, I mean, and
You
now
you
it's,
have this year?
yeah, in one day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We average, we'll get the Golden Snowball Award for upstate New York. They do Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, Albany. Syracuse is kicking ass right now. We are beating everybody. We got just about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks maybe now. We got 2.5 feet in one day. One
Oh my
day,
gosh.
dude. But I got to tell you, Spencer, I got to tell you, the school buses still drive by. We have the men and women on the roads that keep everything moving. It's amazing. It is amazing what they do.
That is pretty insane. I love the cold. I live for the winter and the fall. I love it. Now, I love all the seasons. Like, I do
Yeah.
like summer for a little bit, but if I was like one kind of guy, I'd be a cold weather guy. Well, back in Virginia, we've had 2.5 feet of snow, but it takes like 2 weeks to get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
schools are called off after 2 inches of snow. I kid you
Right.
not. You'll be
No,
called
I
off
know. I know.
immediately.
Yep. Yep.
So that's awesome. I mean,
I mean, the school, they do cancel school on occasion, but
I would
overall,
think
it's
2.5 feet in a day would be tough to keep up with.
you'll have to, we get off tonight. You'll have to look up lake effect because we live very close to Lake Ontario.
Okay.
And when the wind blows across the lake, when the cold wind blows across the warm waters, I'm not a meteorologist, but it picks up the moisture. And then once it gets over land, it dumps it. And this time of the year, it's all snow. So it's not uncommon to get a foot, 2 feet of snow. But the thing is, it's not heavy, wet snow. It's light, fluffy, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's easy to shovel. It's not like if it's what they call a nor'easter coming up the coast and you get the heavy wet snow. That
Yeah.
sucks. Then
Okay,
you
well,
got
yeah,
then you
that
got
makes
issues. Yeah. But anyways, let's get back to the music. See, I told you we go down these roads every once
Hey,
in a
that's
while.
all right. I enjoy it.
Oh man, it's crazy. So you get out there, you've been on stage, and your fans are beginning to sing the words to your songs back to you. What is does that ever hit you mid-song like, wow, this is really happening?
Oh, yeah, and that's more of a recent thing, in particular for When She Calls Me Cowboy.
Yeah?
They've always sang, I'll have my fans that sing the songs, and it's cool. But for When She Calls Me Cowboy, this is the first one where, Spencer Hatcher fans have really made me feel like it's already been a hit. Like it
Mhm,
was
mhm.
already a number one, and the world knows every word to it because I announced it. It was only like a week after it came out, and I was playing this sold out show, and or I guess I'd announced that I was gonna be singing this song, When She Calls Me Cowboy, and the whole place just went crazy.
Sweet.
And I was like, "What is this?" Like, they've been waiting on it. And then as I'm singing it, I start to notice, like, every single person is singing it, and then when it gets to chorus, they just go crazy, like, they yell it back. It's
Dude,
I'm
that's
getting
so
used
cool.
to it because it's so new, but it is the greatest feeling in the world. That to me is, like, just the most
It's
amazing
gotta
thing to
be.
see people
It's gotta be.
love my music as much as you know,
Mhm.
as much as what we love it,
Exactly
we
right.
work so hard on this stuff, and we spend so much time and energy on these songs, and for one to finally hit where people are treating it like it's a hit, it's just incredible.
Man, I can't. Oof. I've seen artists get up there, and I've seen them like stop mid song because the crowd is just singing so loud, and it's just you can actually feel the emotion. You can almost feel what the artist is feeling. Like, oh my god, you don't know what
Yep.
to say. You just it's like wow, it's that moment. That
Oh,
moment.
it's
Hey,
yeah.
I want to talk about cold beer and common sense a little bit. I know I played just a little bit of it here a few minutes ago. Feels especially timely. Did you realize how relevant it would be when you first heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not necessarily in the way that it still is. Um, we kinda set the release date to be right before the election, and we knew
Mhm.
the election was coming up, and we were like, "Well, this is gonna be a great song." I stand for everything in the song, I
Mhm.
strongly believe in it,
Mhm.
and I think it's a song that America, but the entire world needs to hear. A song entirely about getting along, loving one another. And people want to turn it political all the time. They're like, "Oh, this is a political song." I'm like, "Well, clearly you've not listened to the words because it's
Right.
not
Exactly.
political at all."
Exactly. I was going to say
But
that. Yep.
it's a song that has been very timely. Back in November of 24 or of 25.
Mm.
No, 24. That was when it was
24.
released. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess it was, yeah, it was really relevant, and then a couple of times in 25 it was relevant, and I'd say it's relevant right now.
Yeah. But
It's like it
it is.
it's it's gonna be one of those songs that lasts
It's about
forever. You
unity
can listen
rather
to it.
than politics. It's about being together. And
Yes.
that's the most important thing. And that's an advantage that somebody like you has as an artist in country music. And we all know that country music is about real life and about being together and making things happen.
Yes, sir.
You know, do you think country music still has a responsibility to reflect on what people are feeling in real life? Speaking of that,
I can't say that it country music as a whole has a responsibility, but I know that that was one thing that I believe country music was founded on,
hmm
and it's something that I care to continue carrying on. Uh, it has evolved greatly, I'd say, since when you look at, country music from the Carter family and
hmm
Hank Sr. and Jimmy Rogers and those guys, well, it's night and day difference. Even from those guys to Merle Haggard. Merle was, what,
yeah,
30, 40 years after those guys,
yeah, no,
and
exactly.
then
Yeah,
we're another 40 or 50 years past Merle almost
yeah.
from when
Oh my
Merle
God.
started. So
Yeah.
it evolves, and I don't know if there's still the same responsibility, but I do believe that one thing that makes country music so special is that, it's what it was founded on. That is what
Exactly.
country music
Exactly.
was and
Yeah.
is for still a lot of people, so
Mhm. Mm. You know, you play, of course, doing all the honky tonks and doing everything that you do. We call them honky tonks. I love that. Ballads can be risky live, but what makes a slow song work in a honky tonk setting for you?
truth.
Yeah.
I would say truth and relatability. I've always put relatability first. You have to be careful where you put it in your set list, but
That's it right there.
I would say I'm really good at making set lists because I've made hundreds over the last 6 years, hundreds of set lists, and
Oh, I bet you have.
I've had failed set lists where I'm like, "Ooh, that song did not work right there." But it creating a set is an art, and, typically you would start with, like, a barn burner of a song like Honky Tonk Hideaway, then you might go to, Leave This Town, then Has Anybody Ever, then say Cold Beer Common Sense. You could kinda work your way down, or you could start high, go down, go
Yeah.
higher, and then drop way low. But it's kind of about how you set the song up. And in a honky tonk, if you got the people really rowdy and they're hammered and they're having a good time, you probably don't want to kill that quite yet. But there is a point where you can bring it back and you can be like, if you're George Jones, you're the king of it, and you can
Mhm.
play bartender blues
Mhm.
or if drinking don't kill me, and the whole place will erupt, but it's just got to be placed at the right spot, I would say.
That was you just answered one of my questions. It was like you're building a set list. What matters more, energy or emotion? But you kind of explained what's going on right there. And have you changed it up like mid set list going, okay, this ain't working. What the hell are we going to do? Let's do this instead.
I loosely follow a set list because, something that's really important is reading a crowd. And if the crowd is not responding to this,
true,
then you got to change it and do this. And I've learned that's something that makes a lot of people really nervous as performers. But for me, I'm just like, you have to adapt. You have to study the environment. You got to kind of know what the audience is thinking, and you've got to change it. Now, you can still miss, but there's been times where I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try it. And it's just a smash out of the park. And you're like, yes. That's always nice too, but it can go either way.
Yeah. You said, doing the bluegrass thing, do you still get out and play a little bit of that, or do you go to a certain place in town if you want to hear some good bluegrass? I used to go to the Station Inn. And early in his day, Dierks Bentley would be out there with the bluegrass band. And it was just, we'd sit there and go through a couple of pitchers of beer and just really enjoy it. So,
oh yeah, the Station Inn is like a famous spot and probably the best spot in Nashville, I would guess. Maybe I'm sure there's some dive bar somewhere that's maybe even better, but
yeah, the dive bars are pretty good, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
those are the best.
But I know so many people still in the bluegrass world. Like I went to see Cody Norris at Station Inn, and that was super cool. And I still do bluegrass every single show that I have time myself. So I'm still playing bluegrass all the time. But as far as like the jams and stuff, yeah, Station Inn would be a good place to be though. That would be a really good place.
Now, your brother Connor, he's in the band, right? He's by your side.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I did a little research. You'd be proud of me. Your brother Connor still by your side. How valuable is that trust on the road, having your brother right there?
It's huge.
Are you guys like really close? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, very close. Yep, we're living together down here in Nashville. I mean, we've lived together for our whole life basically. Yeah. I think he only ever moved away for a year and then moved right back in with me. So it works out. It works out great. And of course, he provides harmony that's totally unmatched. He's phenomenal. He's the greatest bass player to ever come out of the state of Virginia. I mean, it's like the title he's been given. He is absolutely a phenomenal master of the bass, both upright and the 4-string bass is pretty cool and all electric bass, but he's got a 5-string. And he's just a monster.
Really?
Oh gosh.
You don't see too many 5 strings. At least I don't.
No, you don't. But he's got one, and he tears it up.
I love that, man. I love that. I love to hear it sometime. So, if you're sitting here a year from now, let's say you and I get together a year from now, we're gonna pick up where we left off. What do you think would be different? What do you hope has changed? Let me ask you that way. That you've had.
Well, it's hard for me to talk about. It's hard for me to talk about my hopes and about like myself, but I could say that what I pray happens, and I've prayed this same prayer for many, many years, is that you can just continue to make progress all year, which I think we, of course, we certainly plan to do, and we've got small steps to get there. But I'd love to see When She Calls Me Cowboy be a hit, be a true charter of a song. It has charted. It's like top 70, at least last I heard it was like top 70 on the charts. Yeah. So it's broke the top 100 hottest country songs, which is unreal. But, if it could be like top 20.
Yeah. Okay. Are you keeping track of the numbers? Do you check that every day, or do you you can't be consumed by that, because if you see it drop, you're going to go, oh no, what's going on? You got to give it time. And I can tell you this song is on its way. Will it be a #1 song? I hope it is, because I feel it has that potential. But there's a lot of competition on the charts as well. But you are doing something unique. You're doing it Spencer Hatcher way, and being unique and doing it your own way is a plus. So, and that doesn't make it. You got another one right behind it. Come on.
Yeah, well, um, to answer your first question, no, I don't keep up with it like daily. I'll ask for updates from my label and they'll
Yeah,
give it to me that way. But it's kind of like the stock market, you don't want to sit there and stare at it because you drive yourself crazy.
exactly. You don't want to be consumed. Yeah.
Daily, but maybe weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But I have really high hopes, I mean, and even if When She Calls Me Cowboy doesn't do it, then I'd like to see another song do it. But I really hope that in a year from now, you and me could be sitting down talking and you're like, Spencer, it
Mm,
happened. When She Calls
mm.
Me Cowboy went to number 6, you know, number
Dude,
5, number
dude,
3, number 1. I
dude.
mean, that would be my dream. That would be my dream
We
come
would
true.
celebrate for you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Has anyone ever told you your music made them miss an ex, but they're doing just fine forgetting? Has anybody ever said, hey, your music really makes me miss somebody, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing fine.
I've had a lot of people tell me what my music does for them,
I
and
don't know if I
some
want to
crazy
know
ones.
everything, but yeah.
No, no, you don't, but there's been some pretty amazing ones too. I don't know about that example in particular, but I do know that there was this one where, um, this one individual came and she told me, she said, "Spencer, I want you to know with this song," she said, "I was listening to it, and I've listened to it like 5 times this morning," and she said, "There was this one point in my life," it was actually for Has Anybody Ever, when I first released that one. She said, "That song made me think about one of my first loves. It was somebody that I still
Oh
think
no.
about today,
Oh
almost
no.
every single day." And she said, "Now I'm married and I love my husband and he's married and he has a wonderful wife." But she said, "Still today, I'll see him and think about a love that I once had like that." And she said, "I didn't wind up with him." But she said, "Your song, that's what it makes me think of." And to me, that was like a really powerful
That is
thing.
powerful. That is powerful. You've touched somebody. And
Yeah.
when you can touch their heart like that, you got a fan forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
was a very cool moment.
Have you ever had a crowd way drunker than you expected? And if so, how did you survive that? I mean, come on, we're in a honky tonk. We're boozing it up. I mean, I've been there. I've done that. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean, I've played for some very drunk, rowdy crowds. I've seen, I could tell it to you like this, I've seen a couple of felonies be committed. I'm up on stage, I'm like, "Man, that guy's going to jail tonight." That kinda thing. I
oh
mean, they
boy.
can get rowdy, but typically, um, the drunker they get, the louder they get, and the more
Eh,
fun it is for
the
me,
more
honestly,
fun it
like, they
is.
love
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
song. That's when the set list stops mattering so much. You can play anything and they're gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, I'm going to let you go here in a moment, but what's harder, writing a heartbreak song or explaining to your mom what a radio single actually means? I mean, the family, they know what radio is though. I mean, you've been doing this for a while and you got your brother. I'm sure they explain it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe the radio single thing because honestly, for me, it was all kind of new. Just learning the radio world, if you don't if you're not in it, you really wouldn't know it. A
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
people tend to think that their hometown radio station is like that's a huge giant radio station, and then you come to find out that, it's not even like a reporting station, or it's not even like a big station at all. So to me, I mean, I think that's probably more difficult is explaining
Yeah.
to people like being at radio, what a radio single is, and
Yeah, it's a lot of
everything
yeah.
involved in the
They don't
radio
need to
world.
know that. Just you and I need to know that.
Right,
That's
right.
all there is to it. How big of a family do you have? I mean, there's you
Um,
and Connor, but I don't know any more about you.
well, I've got a pretty big
Okay.
I'd say a pretty big family. I mean, I've
So,
got yeah, my siblings,
okay. All right.
parents, aunts, uncles,
Okay.
uh, grandparents. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say I've
Who
got a fairly pretty big
so I
family.
it was gonna lead to this question. Who in your family is the toughest critic? Dude.
Toughest critic.
Everyone, why am I on this Skip Happens podcast? Why
That's
am I doing
interesting,
this?
though.
No.
Um, To be honest, toughest critic of me or in
Well,
general?
just no, I guess who in your family is the toughest critic of your music?
Me.
Well, I
It's
understand that.
definitely me. I'm pretty hard on myself, and sometimes I
I
have,
get it.
I don't know that you would call me a critic, but I do tend to have pretty high expectations for other people too, because I don't know,
Sure.
I've always been someone that I just try to take care of business
Hmm.
and things just I don't know, maybe I
Right.
think a little bit differently, but yeah, I would say I'm probably the toughest critic of my music, probably.
Okay. No, that makes sense. What was
Yeah.
the last thing that made you mad?
Last
Anything.
thing that made me
Last thing
mad.
that made you, and did you get angry at something today, yesterday, day before, something traffic or somebody cut you off or
Yeah, it was
I don't know,
driving home today, from west side to east side Nashville,
on
just
that
the
hour and a
traffic
half
and
drive?
people
Yeah.
not understanding how to merge. That is a topic we could talk about for a long time here in Nashville because that's, like, the reason for traffic
Uh,
is the merging lane.
yeah. Jacob Smalley. You know Jacob?
No, I do not.
No, he's an artist. He just chimed in here and said, "What's up, Spencer? Good to see you, brother." So,
Oh, sweet.
yeah, that's good.
Howdy,
So,
Jacob.
yeah, he's an independent. He's been on Skip Happens. He's doing really well.
That's awesome.
We
I didn't even
usually
have to
catch
see
up
that.
at CRS. So, I don't know if you can see the notes or not, but I know
I
I'm going to let
can
you.
now. I just saw
Yeah,
that chat
there you
below.
go.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It just what you're doing is so cool, and just keep at it, brother. I warned you about Skip Happens. I go down all these roads. This is a conversation where we can smile, we can laugh, and it's not like a formal interview. It is, but it isn't. If you know what I mean. So it's fun. It's fun, and
Yeah.
to find out about you, and then look back on this down the road a little bit. And I hope to see you out on the road. I don't know if you're going to be at CRS, the Country Radio Seminar in it's March this year, but
Hopefully.
I certainly hope to get a chance to say hello. We could have a cold one together. I don't know what your favorite brew is or what you drink, but we could definitely do whatever. So,
Well, yes, sir. No, hey, I'd love that. That'd be great. I hope to be at CRS this year. I was last year, so
oh, okay.
if I am, then
I probably saw you. Of course, I didn't know who you were. I've been going for well over 20 years. But
okay. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, that was my first time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I definitely love to
Definitely, we'll do
get
something.
together.
But so somebody wants to go on and get your EP. Where can they go? Can they download it all off the DSPs or digital service providers? What can we do?
Yeah, literally, pretty much go anywhere. And if you just look up Spencer Hatcher, you can find my music. You can look me up on socials, and you can follow me there, so you can stay up to date with everything. And I also have a
Mhm.
website, spencerhatchermusic.com. So, yeah, I encourage everybody to show your support. It means the world to me, and I certainly
I love
appreciate
that.
it.
And Jacob just chimed in. He says, voice text. We opened for Josh Turner together in Missouri.
Oh, yes. Jacob, dude. Okay, yes, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
good
Well,
dude.
I just
He's a
couldn't
good.
see the icon. I was like, but
Yeah, I know.
yes,
I know.
dude.
I hear
Oh,
you.
and Jacob is awesome. That guy killed it. It was so cool.
He's a
Jacob's a
great guy.
great guy. Jacob, if you're gonna be at CRS, that'd be awesome.
Oh, he's going to be
Oh,
there.
well,
We
he and
already
I
have
have
it planned.
actually now it's coming back to me. We talked about that while we were out in Missouri. So
There you go.
hopefully I'm there. I'll definitely, yeah, we should
Well,
just
then you're
all
going
get
to.
together.
Yeah, no. And I usually, I see Jacob and his wife out there. We did it last year and we'll go get a cold one or whatever we have to do. So
I
it's pretty
love that.
cool. But
Yeah, Jacob's great.
yeah, Spencer, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your night to come and hang on Skip Happens. Hopefully you had a good time. And like I said, it's
Oh,
very
absolutely.
informal. This is what I do. But there he is, everybody. That's Spencer Hatcher making country music the way it's supposed to be made. I cannot say that loud enough. Loud enough to wake the bartender, honest enough to hurt a little, and twangy enough to make your truck lean left. I don't know what that meant. But go check out Honky Tonk Hideaway everywhere you stream music. See him live if he's in your area. We'll try our best to get him up here in the Northeast, but we'll wait till about July. Um, no, you know what? I mean, we're doing shows every month. So if you come, you come. We'll get you here. So if you see him live, you're going to enjoy it. And Spencer, by the way, you and I, the next round is on me. So we get together in Nashville. Thank you for joining us tonight on Skip Happens. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe. YouTube at Skip Happens Podcast. It's easy as that. Spencer, your socials. right? They can you go to YouTube. You got your own. They can subscribe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Numbers
just look
mean
up
a lot.
Spencer Hatcher.
Yep. There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
All right, Spencer. Thanks for joining us.